Hello students, so far we have studied different single parameter models for datasets. For example, Poisson gamma model, beta binomial model. When we say Poisson gamma model, we mean that we have observations from Poisson distribution where the Poisson mean has gamma distribution. Similarly, beta binomial model, we mean that binomial distribution, we are getting data from binomial distribution and the probability of success associated with the Bernoulli trials in the binomial has beta distribution as a prior distribution. So on the similar line, now let us discuss normal model. So here the observation is coming from normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square like this, and the normal mean mu has again normal distribution as prior distribution with mean tau and variance eta square. Here the parameters tau and eta square, which are called as hyperparameters, are known. Similarly, the variance of this normal distribution, which is sigma square, is also assumed to be known. So now let us proceed towards the computation of posterior distribution of mu. Let us see how it can be done. So let us first compute joint density of x and mu. So the PDF of x given mu will be like this, which is a PDF of normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square. Similarly, the prior distribution being normal, the density function of mu will be like this, 1 by eta root 2 pi e raised to minus half mu by tau whole square by eta square. So the joint density can be computed like this. It will be simply product of this term and this term. So 1 by sigma into eta root 2 pi into root 2 pi will be simply 2 pi, and the exponential terms will be added like this. So it will be e raised to minus half x minus mu upon sigma whole square plus mu minus tau upon eta whole square. So now let us try to simplify this exponential term. Here only one change I have done, that is, instead of writing this as x minus mu by sigma whole square, I have written it as mu minus x whole square by sigma square. Now let us try to simplify the exponential term. So let us consider these exponents together. So and then expand the square term. So mu minus x whole square by sigma square plus mu minus tau whole square by eta square will become mu square minus 2 mu x plus x square upon sigma square plus mu square minus 2 mu eta plus tau square upon eta square. Okay, let us check it again. Mu square minus 2 mu tau plus tau square upon eta square. So looks alright so far. Now let us move ahead. Can we simplify this further? What will happen if I gather all the terms containing mu and all the terms containing mu square? So let us first collect all the terms containing mu square. So the coefficient will be 1 by sigma square here, and here the coefficient will be 1 by tau square. So it will become mu square into 1 by sigma square plus 1 by tau square. Now similarly, collect the terms containing 2 mu together. So you will have minus 2 mu into this term x by sigma square plus this term, which is tau by eta square. It will be there, and then lastly what remains is x square by sigma square plus tau square by eta square. So like this. So this is how we are going to get this simplified to this. Now if you look at this carefully, you will realize that I can write this as a perfect square because I have a term containing mu square, I have a term containing 2 mu. So what I needs to do is find a third term. So now try to recall a normal PDF. How does it look like? So a normal PDF has terms like this. the random variable minus the mean whole square upon variance. So in this form, if we try to adjust these terms, I think the calculations will be simpler. So let us try to do this. So for this, first I will take the coefficient, whatever is the coefficient of mu square, let us take this common. So here the coefficient of mu square is 1 by sigma square plus 1 by eta square. So I have taken the coefficient common here. So in bracket now I'll have only mu square. Sorry, this first term, there is a mistake here. This term should be mu square and not mu. Okay, this term by mistake I wrote this as mu. This term should be mu square. So now if this is mu square, then the second term should be, now because this term has been taken common, so I must divide the coefficient of minus 2 mu by the term which we have taken common, so that I get x by sigma square plus tau by eta square upon 1 by sigma square plus 1 by eta square. And now these two terms will remain as they are. So like this. Now can we move further? So now the further adjustment will give me, again this term should be mu square. Please note this correction. This term should be mu square here. So this should be eta square. Now this term, the term which we have taken common, this can be simplified as eta square plus sigma square upon eta square into sigma square into now mu square minus 2 mu. Now let us try to simplify this further. So the denominator will be eta square plus sigma square into sigma upon eta square into sigma square. So this gets simplified like this, and the numerator here is kept as it is. So I have the two terms. Now since the purpose is to make the perfect square of these terms, so I have a square term here, I have a product term here. So the third term will be now simply square of the coefficient of minus 2 mu. So now the what is the coefficient of 2 mu? The coefficient of 2 mu is the product of these two terms. So let us consider it square. Let us first add it and then subtract it from here. So the square term will be x by sigma square plus tau by eta square whole square multiplied by eta square sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square whole square. Now we are adding and subtracting the same term here. And don't forget to carry this term, these two terms. So these terms are as they were. So finally we get, considering the first, please don't forget that this term should be, the first term should be mu square and not mu. So this term, then the product term and this third term, they to collectively form the square of mu minus this, these two, product of these two terms whole square. So these three terms together can be written as mu minus eta square sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square into x by sigma square plus tau by eta square whole square. So what remains now is this term multiplied by this term and these two terms. So let us bring this term outside. So this eta square plus sigma square whole square, and here eta square plus sigma square upon eta square into sigma square. So outside the bracket we have the same terms reciprocal. So the square will get cancelled and I'll have only this term here as I have written here. So finally out of the bracket what will I get? So I will have minus x by sigma square plus tau by eta square whole square into, because of this square and the final term, sorry, the term outside the brackets cancellation, will have eta square sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square, and now plus these two terms as they were. So at least we have got one square term here like this, and now what we need to do is we need to adjust these two terms. Okay, so let us continue the discussion. So thus now mu minus x whole square upon sigma square plus mu minus 2 whole square upon eta square, this has been simplified to this. So let us call this as the first term. Let us denote it by the Roman letter 1, and this whole term, these terms as the second, like this. Then let us try to simplify now the second term here. Let us try to simplify this. So what do we have? Eta square sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square into x by sigma square plus eta by tau square whole square into minus 1. This minus sign I have carried here, plus x square by sigma square plus eta square by tau square. Now in order to simplify them, let us first evaluate this square. So let us see what do we get. So we have eta square sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square into square of this first term will be x square upon sigma raised to 4 plus twice x tau upon sigma square eta square plus eta square upon tau square upon eta raised to 4 plus x square by sigma square and plus tau square by eta square. So now if we gather the terms containing x square together, let us see what do we get. So these terms can be further simplified like this. So sigma square and this sigma raised to 4. So I'll get sigma square here. Then eta square and eta square will get cancelled, and I'll have similarly tau square. Sorry, eta square sigma square will get cancelled, and I will have 2x tau upon eta square plus sigma square. And similarly for the third term in this bracket, we'll have tau square sigma square upon, now eta square will get cancelled, so tau square sigma square upon eta square into eta square plus sigma square, plus these two terms will remain as they were. Thus we have x square by sigma square into, now let us take the terms containing x square by sigma square common. So I'll have 1 minus eta square upon eta square plus sigma square. Similarly, take the terms containing tau square upon eta square common. So I have 1 minus 1 from here minus sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square here. And now what remains is this term, which is minus 2x tau upon tau square plus sigma square. So now notice that if you simplify this, you will get simply sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square. Similarly, for the second term, tau square upon eta square into eta square upon eta square plus sigma square, and this term will remain as it is. So finally, we have a lot of simplified form now. So it is x minus x square upon tau square plus sigma square plus tau square upon tau square plus sigma square and minus 2x tau upon tau square plus sigma square. So if you take 1 upon tau square plus sigma square common, you get x minus tau whole square here. So finally the second term here, the second term, this gets simplified as this term. So let us put it back. So we were here in this setup. So here the first term was already a square term, and now these all terms again after simplification are giving square term. So finally we have this gets simplified like this. So mu minus x whole square upon sigma square plus mu minus tau whole square upon eta square gets simplified to these two square terms. So let us put them back. Back means these terms were borrowed basically from the joint density of x and mu from here. So let us put the final expression for these two terms here. So we get the joint density of x and mu like this. So after some little adjustment, we can write this as product of two normal densities. Now you may wonder how it can be done. So notice that here, if I look at this as a normal PDF, then it looks like as if x has mean 2 and the variance of x now is eta square plus sigma square. So to make this as a normal PDF, what I'll have to do is I'll have to take 1 upon under root 2 pi into 1 upon root of eta square plus sigma square. This term I'll have to adjust here. Similarly, I'll have to adjust terms here. So let us see how it can be done. And why we are doing this, that too will be clear to you in a few seconds. So what I am doing is, since this term somewhat looks like normal PDF, so I am making some adjustments. So what I am doing is, this 2 pi I am splitting as root 2 pi root 2 pi. So one of the roots of 2 pi's I am keeping here. So I have 1 upon under root 2 pi, and now I am adjusting this term. I am multiplying it by root of eta square plus sigma square, and then I am keeping the first exponential term as it is. So if you look at this carefully, it looks like a PDF of normal distribution with mean 2 and variance eta square plus sigma square. Now let us see what remains for the second part of the joint density of x and mu. Now in the second part, this exponential term is kept as it is. Now because here we have divided by square root of eta square plus sigma square, so here I am multiplying it by the root of eta square plus sigma square, and now the term 1 upon sigma eta, here I am writing as square root of eta square into sigma square like this, and originally there was 2 pi, so now I have splitted it into root 2 pi like this. So finally, if you look at the multiplication of these constants, what you have is 1 upon 2 pi into sigma into eta, so which was the original term there. So now this first term, means these terms together we have already identified as normal density function or normal PDF. Similarly here, if you look at this carefully, this also automatically becomes another normal PDF. In this, if you treat x as a constant, then this term x eta square plus tau sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square, this becomes mean of the mean of the random variable mu. Notice that this x tau square upon tau sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square is simply product of these terms. Originally the mean was tau square sigma square upon eta square sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square into x by sigma square plus tau by eta square. So if you multiply it, if you cross multiply these two, you get x tau square x eta square plus tau sigma square upon eta square into sigma square. Now eta square into sigma square gets cancelled with this, and what remains is x eta square plus tau sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square, which I have written here. So this becomes the mean and this becomes the reciprocal of the variance term. Okay, so this again looks like another normal PDF. So notice that what we have done is, we have written this joint density function of x and mu as marginal distribution of x multiplied by the posterior distribution of mu given x. So if you integrate this, in order to get the marginal density of x, you will have to integrate this joint distribution of x and mu with respect to mu. So if you integrate this with respect to mu, this first PDF, normal PDF will be as it is, and the second normal PDF will be integrated because this contains the terms of mu. So this will get integrated with respect to mu, and the integration of this whole term will be 1 because it itself is a normal density function, and so what will remain is simply this term. So thus the marginal density of x is 1 upon under root 2 pi root of eta square plus sigma square into e raised to minus half x minus 2 whole square upon eta square plus sigma square. So it's interesting to note that the marginal density function of x is again normal with mean tau and variance as eta square plus sigma square. So this marginal density, as we are aware, this is nothing but prior predictive distribution of x. So it is interesting to note that if we have a normal distribution where the variance is known and the mean itself again has normal distribution as a prior distribution, then the prior predictive distribution of x is again normal, but the mean of the distribution is same as the prior mean of the parameter mu, and the variance of x is nothing but the addition of variances of x and mu. Now let us see what can be said. Now let us quickly discuss how we can compute the posterior distribution of mu. Since the joint distribution, we have been able to split it as marginal density of x and this term, which itself is a normal PDF with mean this and variance which is reciprocal of this. So after dividing the joint density by this, what remains is this term, the normal PDF. So clearly that is the posterior PDF of mu given x. So thus posterior distribution of mu is again normal with mean x eta square plus tau sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square, and the variance will be reciprocal of this term which is eta square sigma square upon eta square plus sigma square. Notice that this is nothing but, this term variance is nothing but 1 upon eta square plus 1 upon sigma square, which is nothing but the harmonic mean of eta square and sigma square. So thus posterior variance of mu comes out to be the harmonic mean of variances of x given mu and prior variance of mu.